Good Friday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window and some clouds yesterday. Today, just a fantastic day all across north central Washington. This shot outside our weather window, we're taking you up to Okanagan County in the beautiful towns of Brewster and of course Pateros. Pateros at the bottom of your screen, Brewster in the middle of your screen. It's where the Methow River and the Columbia converge there at Pateros. And what a beautiful shot with just some clouds along the horizon looking up north towards the mountains in Canada. Some clouds that way, but we saw sun today and beautiful temperatures. As far as our weekend goes, kind of a mixed bag. For Saturday, it will be nice. If you have outdoor plans tomorrow, good choice. Perfect day for an open house at the National Weather Service in Spokane. If you are over that way, check out their new building and all of the latest forecasting technology they have there. Pretty amazing. Temperature-wise, we're going to see temperatures in the mid-70s for Saturday, and then some changes as we move into Sunday. Cloudy with about a 70% chance of showers here in the Wenatchee Valley, and we will tell you much more about your weekend weather forecast and beyond coming up in a little bit in your weather forecast. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. An East Wenatchee woman may have set fire to her own home this week in an act of domestic violence. 2 people are charged in a long-running fish and wildlife investigation into stolen bighorn sheep remains. And Wenatchee Valley students joined millions of students around the globe in a one-day climate strike. But first, we begin tonight. 2 youths who drove from Okanagan County to buy marijuana in Wenatchee were robbed at gunpoint, and police say they have the culprit. 18-year-old Alan Meza Duarte was booked early Thursday for allegedly robbing the victims of a backpack, cell phones, and a portable speaker on Tuesday night near Springwater Avenue. The juvenile said Meza Duarte held a handgun on them while he took their belongings. He faces possible charges of robbery, theft, and criminal use of a firearm. An East Wenatchee woman may have set fire to her own home this week in an act of domestic violence. Douglas County Sheriff's deputies say 48-year-old Cora Herbert started a fire in her bedroom in the 2700 block of Westview Drive on Tuesday afternoon after pouring what appeared to be gasoline on the bed and the floor. One other person was home at the time and was able to escape. Firefighters confined the blaze to Herbert's room, and deputies arrested her the following day. She allegedly told them she had no memory of starting that fire. Police are seeking charges of first-degree arson. 2 people are charged in a long-running fish and wildlife investigation into stolen bighorn sheep remains. Dennis Leroy Spruill, 56 years old of Wenatchee, and 59-year-old Rain Morrison Borgen of Cashmere are charged with first-degree theft for allegedly breaking into a state fish and wildlife storage area north of Wenatchee where the remains of wild sheep are kept. Wildlife Police and the State Patrol said when they searched Spruill's home on Franklin Street in February, they found 4 bighorn skulls buried in the backyard. Bighorn sheep are protected under state law, and it's illegal to collect or sell their remains without a permit. There are only about 1,700 such animals ranging in eastern Washington. Spruill and Borgen also face charges of methamphetamine possession. Both are scheduled for trial coming up in November. In other news, the recent climate news is grim. Melting ice sheets in Greenland, massive flooding in Texas, and a serious decline in bird populations across North America. Wenatchee Valley students took action Friday, joining millions of their peers around the world in a youth-led climate strike. Led by the young activists, at least 150 people marched to Wenatchee City Hall to demand a green energy economy and an end to fossil fuels by the year 2035.
You always hear this, you're our future, but you guys can vote when you're 18. And right now, between the age of 18 and 23, there's only 30% of the people that register to vote. Could you imagine changing that to 80%? You would control.
Coming up next, the future of recreation in the Entiat Ranger District in the wake of devastating fires will be discussed at a pair of open houses coming up in October. All sorts of heavy and not so heavy equipment will be up for auction coming up on September 28th at the Chelan County PUD. And we'll have our weekly Kennel Cameos feature from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
If you want to work in IT, here's a tip. Employers value IT certifications. 91% say they play a key role in hiring. 72% require them for certain job openings. Improve your odds of getting the job. Enroll in the Computer Networking Systems program at Charter College. In 14 months, you could earn an associate degree and 6 IT certifications. Get started at chartercollegeit.com, where we work to get you to work.
Some jobs take more than skill. They require something deeper, an innate devotion to the communities in which we live. At Gisa Credit Union, we help you support law enforcement, firefighters, teachers, and veterans. With every purchase you make with a Gisa Local Heroes Affinity debit card, we make a donation to select organizations. After all, we can never repay them, but we can do our best to help a little. With the Gisa Local Heroes Affinity debit card.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been serving North Central Washington for 34 years. Arctic provides the finest heating and cooling air quality products for residential and commercial customers, along with prompt and professional customer service. Arctic also offers specialty services like custom sheet metal fabrication of ductwork, coil cleaning, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Arctic is available for emergency calls 24/7. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
Welcome back. In other news, the future of recreation in the Entiat Ranger District in the wake of devastating fires will be discussed at a pair of open houses in October. A team of researchers from Western Washington University have been working with Ranger District managers since spring, collecting data on the condition of trails and interviewing community members. Fires have damaged many popular trail systems in the area. The district will now explain its findings to the public and hear ideas for moving forward. 2 major fires in recent years have been particularly destructive to that section of the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest. The 2015 Wolverine Fire burned almost 30,000 acres, and the Cougar Creek Fire back in 2018 burned more than 40,000 acres. The first open house will be at the Entiat Fire Station on October 5th. That'll be from 3 to 5 p.m. And the second meeting, October 7th in Wenatchee at the Chelan County Fire District office on Easy Street. Well, all sorts of heavy and not so heavy equipment will be up for auction on September 28th at the Chelan County PUD, Public Works, and others' annual surplus auction. The bidding will begin at 9 a.m. at 210 East Street in Wenatchee, with bids also accepted online. Trucks, tractors, assorted machinery, and passenger vehicles from the PUD and county will be up for sale. Chuck Yarbo, Auctioneers of Moses Lake, is handling the bidding with a complete list of items for sale on their website at yarbo.com. Well, time now for our weekly Kennel Cameos feature from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Tonight, NCWLIFE's Megan McPherson introduces us to Pete the dog.
Hey guys, Megan here with the NCWLIFE channel. We're here with Jenny, the volunteer coordinator at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and Pete is joining us this week. Can you tell us about Pete?
Yes, so Pete is kind of one of my favorites here. He's a sweet soul. He's about 6 years old. Pete's owner died, and so he's kind of adjusting to life at the shelter. But he had a really nice life with his owner. I think there were 6 small dogs that lived with him. So new situations around here kind of scare Pete and make him nervous. But once you get to know him, he is so lovely. He keeps his kennel clean. He has a great big bed. No shortage of kisses. He's very, very affectionate. He loves fetch. His best friend here is a female dog that he plays with at the shelter. So yeah, Pete is overall just a really, really great guy. He's obviously got an ear-to-ear smile, so we love you, don't we? Yeah, we do.
And how's he with kids and cats?
Kids he's okay with. I'd say older kids, just because, again, new situations scare Pete.
Yeah.
And so he just needs an owner that's going to be active with him, but also kind of go slow with him and not scare him.
And what should someone do if they're interested in adopting Pete?
They should come on down to the shelter and meet Pete. He's ready to go today.
The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is located at 1474 South Wenatchee Avenue and is open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org. This has been Kennel Cameos at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society.
You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
Your ability to help real people in our local community gain skills through free job training programs has gotten a whole lot easier. Goodwill of the Columbia is proud to announce the opening of our new 20,000 square foot store on Columbia Center Boulevard in Kennewick. Designed with you in mind, shopping at and donating to Goodwill is now easier than ever. Shop, donate, be a job creator. Goodwill. There's more behind the new store on Columbia Center Boulevard in Kennewick.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air. 662-6846.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's feature story, the NCWLIFE magazine this week is giving viewers a behind-the-scenes look at the Seahawks radio network and how our very own Eric Granstrom is realizing his childhood dreams and producing the preseason broadcasts. Here's a peek at that episode and a look at just what Eric does during a game.
You can see on game day, he has the same look on his face that I used to as a player on game day. So yeah, you can tell he really enjoys it, and it's not work if you enjoy it that much, and that's what I see from Eric.
You do this, you love doing it. Like for example, I didn't do sidelines until a couple years ago. Now it's one of the most fun things I've done in a very lucky career. But again, I think you have to have the love for the game.
I always think of him as like a Cadillac. You know, he's real smooth and he's just easygoing. He doesn't get real worked up over stuff.
I would definitely say that he is a Cadillac. Yes, I never thought of it that way, but it is a perfect description.
He's really important. I mean, it is one of those jobs that you just don't walk in off the street and do, and he can do it.
10 seconds to the billboard, stand by, and you're in.
Well, I know it's August because it's the fourth
no,
preseason game.
I'm a guy from nowhere in Cedarville, Washington, and who's ever heard of that place? And to get to do these things and to get paid to go around the country and be in these amazing stadiums and get paid to do it, that's pretty cool.
As the sports director at NCWLIFE, it's obvious Eric Granstrom has a passion for all things sports. But where does this passion come from?
Well, when I was a kid, O.J. Simpson was the big thing for me, and so I had a number 32 jersey, and I'd put on pads and helmet, and I'd go out in the yard and play football games by myself. But I would do the play-by-play of my own game. So Eric's back to pass, he throws it to Eric, and all this kind of stuff. Or I'd pretend that I'm one of the Seahawks or, one of my favorite players. And so that's originally what I wanted to do was play professional football. We didn't have all the money in the world, and so my ticket to the games, to my favorite teams, was the radio. And when it was the Seahawks, it was Pete Gross. And when it was the Mariners, it was Dave Niehaus. And when it was the Sonics, it was Bob Blackburn. And I'd listen to these guys, and I was just fascinated how I could close my eyes and I could see the game. And I thought, wow, that's really cool. I want to know how to do that. And so I didn't realize all of that until I got into broadcasting and I got into radio and I started doing play-by-play myself. And I went, oh, okay, it all makes sense now.
Behind the scenes at CenturyLink Field is a dizzying experience. Between the media, the fans, and the football players who look larger than life, it takes a specific type of person to find calm in the chaos. In talking with those who work closely with the broadcast, they described Eric as just that. Here's former Seahawks player and coach Paul Moyer.
The great thing about Eric is he relaxes you. At the very beginning, he's not tense. There's producers at times where they'll yell in your ear or you got to get out. Eric's very calm, and yeah, he'll crack a few jokes every once in a while to loosen you up as well. It's a great relationship with him.
Okay, keep talking. Keep talking.
Yeah, Steve. I brought the A-team in. Feel good about it. Got 20, 30 jokes ready to go.
Great.
Yep.
Great. It should be the longest 3.5 hours of my life.
Yeah, we're shooting for 2
Says the person not.
I mean, I went to Alaska to fish commercially on my dad's boat when I was 11 years old. So I had to grow up fast. And that's a crazy environment. And you can't panic. You can't take it all in and just freak out. I mean, you have a job to do. And so I think that really is where all that started, is that, hey, it's, we still have to keep focus. And for someone who's kind of the air traffic controller of what's going on is kind of how I see my job. I gotta keep my head about me when everybody else is losing theirs. And so there has to be a voice of calm, there has to be a voice of reason, and if I can fill that space, then okay, I've done my job.
I just know that Eric is really important to what we do in the preseason, and I wouldn't want anybody else there doing that. To me, it means football season is getting ready to start. When I walk in here, first preseason game, and there's Eric standing there, it just tells me that, okay, now we're ready to go. Now we can get on with what we have to do, and that part makes it fun.
It's a team. Where you're covering and you're watching a team like the Seahawks. It's a team in the broadcast booth. And the one thing, like Eric is able to roll with the punches so well.
Eric is the man. Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Let's get right to our almanac. Unofficially today, 72 degrees, just slightly below where we should be for this time of year at 75. 52 is where we started. 51 is our normal low temperature. 91 record high set back in 1967. Look at that record cold temperature back in 1983. 33 degrees. That was a cold one. 6:45 sunrise this morning. Sun will set tonight at 7:03. Let's take a peek at your Saturday and see how the weekend's shaping up. We talked about it earlier in the newscast. Kind of a mixed bag this weekend. Tomorrow, definitely the best day of the entire weekend. 75 Moses Lake, 74 in Ephrata and Quincy. We will see 73 in the Wenatchee area and lots of 70s on our map. Beautiful day in Lake Wenatchee at 65. You folks up in Omak tomorrow at 73 degrees. Surface loop now. Tonight we will see partly cloudy skies, some breezy conditions. These gold areas mean wind about 10 to 15 miles an hour. And here we are right here in Wenatchee. So we will see a little bit of that wind tonight, about 5 to 15. No more than that, just a little bit of a breeze. And then for Saturday, looks like a nice one. Sunny in the morning. We will see increasing clouds in the afternoon all along this frontal boundary that'll move into Washington State and bring us an increasing chance for precipitation as we move into Sunday. In fact, a pretty good shot of it. 70% chance of rain on Sunday. You can see widespread showers, especially in western western Washington, where we could even see some heavy accumulations in places of up to maybe an inch of rain in parts of western Washington. Frontal boundary kind of stays with us on Monday, but we will clear out in eastern Washington. A few clouds remaining in the western part of the state, but still a nice way to start our next work week. Tuesday, partly cloudy. It could be windy. Notice our isobars very tightly packed in Washington state. Low pressure and high pressure kind of squeezing those together. So we will see a windy one on Tuesday. For Wednesday, partly cloudy. It should be nice once again as we get into midweek. Just that little bit of clearing right here, but showers moving in as we move into Wednesday and especially into the end of the week on Thursday. A 20% chance of rain, all circulating around this area of low pressure. And by the end of the week, we could see the first snow in the Cascades. That's right, snow. Let's take a look now at your Quick Lube and Tune 7-day forecast. Tonight we will drop down to 52 degrees, so almost normal for this time of year. 73 Saturday, a little cooler this weekend and wet on Sunday with a 70% chance of rain, and then back into the lower 70s next week with once again a chance for rain as we get into the end of the week. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
AC Checker has new owners who put customer service first. When you have to get there on time, call fast, friendly, reliable AC Checker, 663-TAXI. AC Checker has the industry's only on-time or it's free guarantee. Conditions apply. Call AC Checker, 663-TAXI to schedule your cab or schedule online at acchecker.com. Call American Classic Taxi, 663-TAXI. That's 663-8294.
Hi, I'm Ricardo, and this is Amanda, and we are from Impact Auto Sales,
where you can expect a hassle-free car buying experience. With our wide selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, let one of our friendly sales staff help you find the vehicle that fits your lifestyle. We have financing available for all credit types and great low rates for first-time buyers. Call us today at 888-8000 or stop by 3522 State Highway 97A in Wenatchee. Impact Auto Sales, where we strive to make an impact on your life and not your wallet.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Friday to you. We'll start things off with a look at what happened last night in prep sports on the Les Schwab scoreboard. In high school soccer, Eastmont traveled to Eisenhower and knocked off the Cadets 2-0. Liberty Bell shut out Manson 4-0, and Chelan topped the Pateras by a score of 5-1. On the Les Schwab prep volleyball scoreboard last night, Eastmont Wildcats came out strong and swept 3 games from Eisenhower, 25-14, 19, and 18. Wenatchee improved to 2-0 in Big 9 play with a 3-zip win at Davis, 25-18, 17 and 20. Quincy edged East Valley 3-2 after falling behind 2-1. Chelan had a little trouble dispatching Zilla 3-0, 25-11, 12 and 17. It was West Valley blanking Moses Lake 3-0, but the Chiefs played the defending state champs tough, 25-22, 17 and 21. Lake Roosevelt meanwhile beat Waterville Mansfield 3-1. Eastmont swept a double duel with Davis and Eisenhower in the pool yesterday. The Wildcats beat the Pirates 117-66 and topped the Cadets 115-67. Also in the first Big 9 cross-country meet of the season, Wenatchee's Tatum Gross-Didier took first place in the girls' race with a time of 19:49. Panthers went 4-2 in the dual meet, while Eastmont was 3-3. On the boys' side, Wenatchee was 4-2, while the Wildcats were 2-4. Coming up tonight on the NCWLIFE channel, Prep Football Friday Night Lights, we'll have Wenatchee hosting Mount Boucherie Bears. Wenatchee's off to a 1-1 start, while the Bears come in at 0-2 in their British Columbian League. While Panther coach Scott Devereaux admits he doesn't know a lot about his opponent tonight, he says set some very specific goals for his club.
Just to keep working on our execution. You know, this is a team that competitively we know we are better than they are, and we need to show that Friday night. We have some goals for our offense and goals for our defense as far as things like yards gained and missed tackles and things like that that we need to achieve, or there's a penalty if we don't.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, we won't be joining them for the gassers, that's for sure. Scott, thanks for the time. Appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you.
Wenatchee hopes to get the passing game going again tonight with quarterback Camden Sermon finding receivers like J.J. Jelsing. Jelsing says a connection on Friday nights began during the offseason, with the two working together a great deal.
It's helped to build our chemistry. He trusts me a lot more than he did last year, which is nice because those 50-50 balls, he'll let you go up and get them because he trusts you enough to do so. It's also helped with his route timing, just him knowing where he needs to put the ball, especially for me.
We'll have the pregame tonight, 6:45. The kickoff at Lieboftel Field of the Apple Bowl at 7. Eastmont on the road tonight in Ellensburg for Week 3 of the non-league game. Wildcat coach Michael Don says he's prepared his kids for a tough Bulldog team with some inside knowledge.
Tell the kids, you know, I coached at Ellensburg a long time ago with Coach Affalter when I was finishing up college, and I just remember that they had legit rodeo kids. These aren't, you know, just kids from Eastern Washington because they live on this side of the mountain. These are tough, hard-nosed kids. They probably have a kid or two who rides horses or bulls or something like that, and they're tough and they'll hit you in the mouth. Our kids still talked about it. One of our older guys just made the comment. He goes, "No, I got hit harder than I've ever been hit by those guys last year." They don't always look the most physically impressive, but they're tough and they play hard and they do a great job.
Senior quarterback Carson Everhart says a win tonight's extremely important for Eastmont in order to keep their team goals alive for this season.
We just want to advance farther than what we did as a team last year, trying to win some playoff games, try to go undefeated. For me personally, I'm trying to get first team all-league, be the first quarterback at Eastmont to get first team all-league. Just try to improve from last year and just get the stepping stones for the next year under us.
All right, so here's a look at the rest of the football schedule for tonight. Moses Lake is at Post Falls, Idaho. Cascade hosts Mount Baker. Wapato at Cashmere. Chelan welcomes South Woodby. Quincy travels to Grandview. Efrain is in Prosser. Manson hosts Liberty Christian. Aniat's at Bridgeport. And Waterville Mansfield has a trip east on US 2 to Wilbur Creston. Coming up in girls soccer Saturday, Quincy hosts Wahluke at noon. Then at 1, Davis plays at Wenatchee. Eastmont hosts Lewis and Clark. Moses Lake's on the road at West Valley. On the Saturday volleyball schedule, Cascades in Connell, while Chelan travels to Cowan Benton at 10 a.m. Waterville Mansfield has a date with Oroville on the road at 12:30. Wenatchee Swimmers will be on the road for the Mid-Columbia Invite at Southridge High School tomorrow at 11 a.m. And on the cross-country schedule, Wenatchee hosts Bothell, Bridgeport, Cashmere, Ellensburg, Lake Roosevelt, Montesano, Omak, and Tonasket for the Invite of Wenatchee. Starts at 11 o'clock. Eastmont's running at the Apple Ridge Invite at 11. Cascades over on the west side for the Whidbey Island Invite, also at 11 o'clock. Wenatchee Wild continue their 4-game homestand with games tonight and tomorrow at the Town Toyota Center. Wenatchee entertains the Trail Smoke Eaters tonight at 7:05. Then tomorrow night, it's Merritt. Again, the puck will drop at 7:05. Not to be forgotten, it's the final race of the season at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval on Saturday. It's the Neil Newberry 125 presented by Pepsi for the Northwest Super Late Models. Also racing will be the Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning Thunder Cars, the Plum Perfect Roadrunners, and the Bandoleros. Gates open at 4:30. Racing starts at 6 o'clock. Well, if you want to take in some college football tomorrow, here's what's on tap for our local teams. Eastern Washington begins Big Sky play at Idaho at noon. Also at 12, Central Washington's on the road at Central New Mexico. Number 22, Washington plays at BYU tomorrow afternoon at 12:30. That's on ESPN2. Tomorrow night, number 19, Washington State hosts UCLA. And the Pac-12 clash, ESPN is the location on TV for that one at 7:30. Coming up Sunday, the Seahawks take on Drew Brees-less New Orleans Saints. The Saints come into CenturyLink Field at 1-1. Hawks are 2-0. Kickoff on Fox at 1:25 in the afternoon. Seattle and Pittsburgh went to extra innings yesterday. Mariners coming in on top in 11 innings, 6-5. Austin Nola's RBI ground out to the top of the 11th. The difference for that one as the Mariners were able to pull off the 3-game sweep. Seattle continues the road trip in Baltimore. Felix Hernandez on the mound today. Finally, the Wenatchee Apple Sox have announced Ian Sanderson as the 5th coach in team history. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Join us for football coming up. Grant, back to you.
And thank you, Eric. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. Also, keep it right here on the NCW Life channel Monday morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great weekend.
Hey there, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, and I'm inviting you to check out the NCW Movie Guide to keep up on what movies are playing in our town.